I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Stories, where I tell funny stories from my past or go on a rant in an effort to make you laugh. So last week I did a video called They Make Mistakes, where I talked about why I'm more understanding when dealing with people serving me in a customer service capacity, whether it be at a restaurant or retail, wherever. Because I've been there, I know what they're going through, and very often the mistake that you're upset about had nothing to do with them, wasn't their fault. Sometimes it was yours. And even the times where it was just they made a mistake, it's just that simple. They make mistakes. Calm down. Let them fix it. But during that video, I have mentioned that there are some times where, yeah, you do have to get rude with the person serving you because it's not as simple as they simply made a mistake. And I was asked to tell about those times, the times that I went off for bad service. So I figured I'd tell you right now. A long, long time ago, when I was very young, early 20s, I used to work, volunteer work, but at a radio station. And that got to the point where I was starting to help put on concerts and stuff. It was fun. Didn't make any money, but it was fun. Had a great time, met a lot of great people, have a lot of great memories. One night there was a concert that I put on with some friends, with a couple of bands, and went really well. We had a pretty good showing. One of the bands we were paying, two of the other bands we had to say, sorry, all we can offer you is a place to sell your merchandise. And they made some good money. And this was a little indie show in a little small town. And after it wrapped up, of course, which was very common after these kinds of shows, the bands and the people who put on the show, we were hungry. But because this was a small town, there wasn't a lot of options. It was after 11 o'clock at night, we're all done, and most everywhere is closed. Even all the fast food places. Like, that was our first option, was we were like, let's go to Taco Bell. We think it's 24 hours. We were wrong. It was not. It was closed. There was one place that was open. We'll call the place Jimmy's Diner. That's not its real name. It's not there anymore, but I'm not sure if it's an actual small chain of restaurants, and I don't want to get sued. But we went to this place because it was open. It was Jimmy's Diner. It was a 24-hour diner, and there was a bunch of us. It was me, my best friend, author Ken Lindsay, author of the Gavin English series and The River Runes. Available at kenlindsaybooks.com. A couple of other people who helped put on the concert, one full band and half of another band, all hanging out, all hungry. This place is open. None of us have ever been there, so let's give it a try. So now, I get what it must have looked like for the staff. There's a bunch of us, all in our late teens, early 20s. Big chunk of us, it's band members. They look like people in a band. It's late at night. Even me at the time, I was very into that punk rock look. I looked like it. I had basically dressed the same as I do now, jeans, t-shirt, but usually some kind of rock band t-shirt. And the most noticeable thing, my hair was always dyed some weird colors. Like at one point, bright blue, purple, hot pink, bright stop sign red. At this point, it was orange. It was really cool too because I had just dyed it from blue and there was still a little bit left at the top. So it kind of went from like a lighter to a darker orange to the top. It was almost red. It looked like I was on fire. I know some of you are going to be like, hey, we'd like to see some pictures of this. The only picture I have from when my hair was different colors, it was green. Look at that sexy, sexy bastard. But I get what it must have looked like for them. And the hostess made it clear what it looked like to her from the moment we walked in. What do you guys want? Thought that was a little weird, but kind of brushed it off and just answered her. We're hungry. You guys are open, right? The sign out front says 24 hours, doesn't it? I get it was a stupid question, but kind of a rude way to answer, especially when I'm trying to give you business. But again, didn't think much of it, just brushed it off. Yeah, you're right. Can we get seated? Okay, how many? Oh, yeah, sorry, probably should have counted before we walked in. Give me a sec. 1, 2, 3. How many? 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to know how many are in your party so I can seat you. Okay, can I please have a second to count everybody and I will tell you. She kept interrupting my count, but luckily somebody else was already counting. There's 11 of us, please. It's almost midnight and you want me to seat 11 people? Yes. Please? Like, what was I going to say? No, you don't have to seat all 11 of us. 3 of them are going to go wait in the car. Yeah, we're all here. We're all together. We want to eat. Can we get seated? Instantly, we were all looking around at each other like, what is her problem? We didn't do anything. Except for, having the audacity to walk in and expect to be served. And some of you might be going like, okay, but she was suspicious of the fact that there's a band here. Those kinds of guys are usually very rowdy. We weren't. It was very tame guys. I'm sure we got a little bit loud while we were sitting there talking and joking and laughing and stuff like that, but We weren't being rowdy, we weren't causing any problems. But back to this hostess, she walks us into the back of the restaurant. Probably what used to be the smoking section when they still allowed that. She starts grabbing some tables to push together, and again, our guy Chris goes, "Would you like us to help you push the tables together?" And as soon as those words came out of his mouth, she responded, "If you guys give me any crap tonight, I will call the manager and I will have you thrown out. I'm not kidding." Guess we'll let you take care of the tables then. And again, we're all just looking at each other like, what did we do? What is her problem? So now she pushed the tables together so that there was enough for 11 people to sit. We all sat down. Very quiet. Especially for 11 people. It was extremely quiet because we were all just like, what is her problem? But she leaves and we're like, okay, at least we're done with that. I was sitting across from a girl, we'll call her Paula. She was one of the people that just helped with production that night. And she is angry. I'm seriously about to ask for a manager myself. But here's the thing. A guy next to her, kind of across from me, who was in one of the bands, him and I both were very sympathetic to people in the service industry because we both worked in the service industry and we both had mothers who pretty much raised us on being servers. In fact, my mom was a very good server, so much that at one point she got promoted to manager and stepped back down from manager to server because she made more money in tips. We convinced her, let's just let it go. She's done. Let's just order our stuff. But she wasn't done. She comes back over. "Well, your waitress is on break, so I guess I'll get your drink order." Goody. Now, what I should have mentioned was that before she came over to take our drink orders, a couple of other people who were friends of one of the bands, the half of a band that went out with us, they saw the cars outside. They had went to go get snacks and food at a gas station, but decided to stop in and say hi, tell them how great the show was and all that stuff. Didn't even sit down, just kind of walked around us and we're talking, and they had drinks in their hands, and she went ballistic. "You can't bring those in here!" Now, here was the thing there. We understood what she was saying, and we understood she was right. It just didn't occur to us when they walked in and walked over to us that, oh, you guys can't bring outside drinks in here. But there was a better way to go about that. And I just kind of spoke up. That, they're not actually with us. They just came in to say hi real quick. That's still unacceptable! Yeah, okay, you're right. You're right. Guys, I'm glad you like the show, but we gotta get something to eat, so if you're not gonna join us, you kinda gotta go. And take those out of here! As much as I didn't want to be rude to this lady, this is when I finally had to speak up. Will you calm down? What is your problem? I told you guys before I sat you. Right, and we're fixing this problem, but we haven't done anything to you, and you've been snippy with us since the moment we walked in. What is your problem? Are you guys going to order your drinks or not? So I was kind of at the end of the table. She goes around. Our guy, Chris, tried to speak up. Oh, okay, so there's going to be 3 separate checks, so your waitress can handle that. I'm just taking your drink order. Yeah, because that won't confuse somebody later, but we just really wanted to get her away from us. So we said fine, and we'll explain it to the server later, whose drinks are whose, because that was kind of the case. He was taking care of his band, another guy was taking care of his band, I was taking care of myself and the people who helped with the production of the concert. But we all just made one big order that the waitress is going to have to figure out later. But while she's taking drink orders, Paula is still upset, and among a few of us at that little section, we're talking, quietly but talking. I really want a manager right now. Yeah, I know, I get you, this is ridiculous. I don't get what this lady's problem is. As we're talking amongst ourselves, of course we're distracted, and she's trying to get my attention. But again, like everything else she's done that night, couldn't be courteous about it. Hey! Hey! Orange hair! What do you want to drink? Coke will be fine. Well, if you had been listening, I already told this guy we have Pepsi. That's fine. She took the drink order, left, and I looked at Paula and I was like, yeah, when the server gets here, I'm definitely asking for the manager. Even though the guy Patrick didn't have anything to say about that. But this is where I talk about not taking certain things out on other people. Because when the server came, we did ask to speak to a manager. We were all very mad at that point because we felt like we had been treated badly for no reason. We legit didn't do anything. We weren't causing any problems. Sure, we were talking here and there, but that was about it. No rowdiness. It was just late. We were a bunch of kids. We wanted some food. That's all we wanted. If it hadn't been for the fact that it was so late and there was nothing else open, we probably all would have gotten up and went somewhere else because of how we were being treated. The server did nothing wrong. We were very nice to her even when we were asking to talk to a manager and telling her why we wanted to talk to a manager. Didn't take it out on her at all. In fact, when the manager came over, we made sure to clarify. This has nothing to do with the server. She's been very sweet, very kind, very courteous. Your hostess, on the other hand, different story. She's been a bitch. Of course, the manager did the manager thing where she apologized to us, told us she would take care of it, tried to explain that way earlier in the night she had dealt with a mean customer. But that's no excuse. As much as I'm not the standard bearer for customer service, I have never done that. I have never taken out on one customer what another customer did. Never done that. In working in customer service jobs since I'm 14 years old, never done that. There's no excuse for that. We were all being nice, we were all being polite, she's just going after us. But like I made clear in the last video, I'm not going to fault one person for somebody else's mistake. From the rest of the night, can't complain about anything. I mean, the food wasn't great, I'm not surprised this place went out of business. But the server herself was excellent, and because of this, after we fixed the confusion about whose drinks were on which checks, we all got our checks together, and those of us who were actually paying the bills made it very clear that everybody else needed to chip in for the tip, and she got a really nice tip. And as we were walking out, the hostess has given us all dead-eyed, which made it very clear she was talked to. And I will forever love Chris, as we were walking out, and he said, "Have a better night than you gave us." Boom! Now, this is not the only story I have where I had to get a little bit rude with the serving staff. I'll give you another one next week. Till then, hope you enjoyed this story, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me if you've ever had to deal with an angry hostess like this. Love you guys.